Welcome back to Mark's Workbench. The last time we were together I was just completing off the framing saw, so today my intention is to use it and show it in action. However, in order to do that, it first means I need to try and fix a few issues I've been having with my table saw so that I can prepare some lumber. So let's get on with that. You've heard me mention that I have issues with my table saw. These issues are threefold. The first being that although the adjuster says the blade is at 90 degrees to the bed, I know it's not. In order to fix this, I have purchased a magnetic inclinometer, can't say that, made by TacLife. Let's have a look at this then. So, it comes in a nice little case. It's fairly light, it's got a magnetic base. There are 4 buttons. I'm not sure what the 0 button does, but to figure that out it would involve me reading the manual. So let's have a look. We've got on and off. Let's switch that on. It's saying it's errored. I'm assuming that's because the base, it's laying on its back. Yeah, there you go. So it's working now. There is a button there for calibrate, and if we press that, it calibrates to the base, to the level it's on, which is 0s. So if we now move it to the next to the blade and look at the reading on this, you can see it says 1.4. That's on the insert piece of the table saw. So if we calibrate that to 0 and then raise the blade, there will do fine. And if we now use the magnets and attach it to the side of the blade, it allows it to stick there, and you can see there's the problem, 89 degrees. So it's not been sawing at 90 as the adjuster underneath. Now the next issue I have is around this cheap plastic insert that they provide. It's actually lower than the table level and also has a different angle. So if we put that there, you can see there it's 0.1 degrees different between the bed and the plastic infill. So depending on whether the wood is running on the bed and it's wide enough to run across the bed, then I have to have the blade set to the bed size, and if it's running across just on the infill as it goes through, then it needs to be against the infill, and the two angles are different. Anyway, so now let's just adjust the blade to 90 degrees. It's a little bit fiddly, but let's just get it on. It's a little bit fiddly, but 90 degrees, yep, all good. So the third issue is around the fence mounting system, and it's specifically to the right here on this extension piece. The extension block, the groove in it doesn't marry up to the rest of the bed. If you look here, you'll see the grooves don't line up as you look down on it. So the issue is that if I put the fence to the left of this split, everything locks down and it stays square to the bed. However, if I try to have a wider piece of wood that I'm trying to rip through, you'll see here it doesn't lock down, it rocks. The two grooves are out of line, and therefore the fence is now out of line. If you look down here, you can see I've tried to line it up with the groove on the table, and it's narrow at the top and wider at the bottom because I've gone across that intersection between the extension and the main bed, and I've got no way of keeping this square. So it's not very good. So I don't know whether they still make this table saw. It's the Ryobi GTS 1525SC. I did buy it a number of years ago, but it's been like this since I first unboxed it. I thought I could adjust it, so I looked at the adjustment screws underneath. The issue is they allow you to move the extension in and out from the table, but they don't allow you to move it forward and backward. So I've never found a way of closing up this gap. That could just be me, but it doesn't work. So in order to cut wider pieces across this table, what I've ended up using is this unit here, which I attach. It's not very deep, but it allows me to rip wider boards. And I can set it up square to the table saw and guarantee its accuracy. And there you go. I have turned a big chunk of ash into 3 boards, which I can now cut up to make some boxes out of. And they all the same thickness. They've been through the plane thicknesser. I have a few marks from those that when they've gone through the thicknesser that I'll need to hand plane and just clean up. And I have a knot which I intend to use some resin on and fill that. But that will be in the next video. So thank you for watching this one, and stay safe, and see you all again soon. Cheers, bye.